This is True Voice Unfiltered, the podcast where raw truth meets real transformation. I'm your host, Daria Anne, ghostwriter, content strategist, and holistic health warrior. No, I'm not a doctor, nurse, nutritionist, or any kind of medical professional, and this show does not dispense medical advice. I'm just an informed patient sharing what I've learned on my own healing journey. I also interview accomplished authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, and functional medicine practitioners who are transforming lives. If you're ready to break free from the sick care system, reclaim your health, and transform your life, you're in the right place. Let's get unfiltered. Hi, everyone. Welcome to True Voice Unfiltered. Today, in episode 19, I am welcoming Dr. Liz Jenkins, a licensed marriage and family therapist based in Texas. Dr. Liz is going to talk to us today about her new book, The Marriage Reset: 5 Therapist-Proven Steps to Fix Your Marriage, Rebuild Trust, and Reignite Lasting Love. It's a guide designed to help partners repair their connection without years of therapy. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dr. Liz, and then we are going to bring her on. Dr. Liz is a licensed marriage and family therapist and certified relationship coach with over 40 years of experience and more than 75,000 hours of direct client work helping couples move from disconnection, resentment, and emotional distance to laughter, trust, and lasting love again. As the creator of the Marriage Makeover, Couples Smart Restart, and Weekend Reconnect programs, Dr. Liz is known for her direct but deeply compassionate approach that prioritizes rapid change, emotional safety, and real-world results. Her work blends research-backed strategies with a down-to-earth style that couples instantly connect with. Whether she's rebuilding trust after years of tension, helping partners communicate without fighting, or reigniting intimacy after a long, dry season, Dr. Liz brings clarity, humor, and a practical roadmap forward. She is the author, as I said, of The Marriage Reset: 5 Therapist-Proven Steps to Fix Your Marriage, Rebuild Trust, and Reignite Lasting Love. This book is a guide designed to help others repair their connection without years of therapy. And I think that's going to be very appealing to many readers out there. Married to her husband, Mike, for over 38 years, and a mom to 2 adult daughters, Dr. Liz understands firsthand the real-life ebbs and flows of long-term love. Dr. Liz is a frequent podcast guest, media contributor, and sought-after expert for couples navigating modern relationships, communication breakdowns, emotional disconnection, and the pressures of today's busy world. Her mission is simple: help couples become teammates again, rewrite old patterns, and create a marriage they're proud to wake up in. Let's welcome to True Voice Unfiltered, Dr. Liz Jenkins. Dr. Liz, welcome to True Voice Unfiltered. I am so glad you're here today.
Thank you, Daria. I'm so excited too. I'm excited to be here with you and your listeners. This is going to be fun.
So, Dr. Liz, I want to start off by asking you have your new book out, The Marriage Reset. What made you decide to write a book at this point in your career?
Well, I've had this book in my head for so many times. I sit in front of clients, I sit with couples, and over, I find they're struggling with similar issues. I think these are nice, great people. They're healthy. There's nothing wrong with them. They just don't have the skills or some of the strategies. And I thought, this is it. Stop. So it was one of my bucket lists. I need to make sure I get this out there for folks just to pick up a book and say, hey, let's look at this. We're not going to fight about it, but we're going to improve our skills. So it was one of those, I've been waiting for too long, and I finally just said, let's put it out here.
Excellent. And full disclosure, Dr. Liz and I met in the Tiny Book Challenge. And what a great group, founded by Michelle Culp of the Best-Selling Author Program. So, Dr. Liz, tell us a little bit about that experience and maybe how it helped you with the process of writing your first book. I mean, this is your first book, correct? Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was sharing my books out with one of my daughters and said, well, I considered that you'd already had your other books. And I've written the thesis and the dissertation. I said, no, this is my first ISBN. And she says, I know it's been sitting on your desk, sitting in your head for a long time, and it has. So having the Tiny Book Club, having you, having Michelle and the group in there, Michelle's system has been like game changing, really was. And so I was able to take the the manuscript, the draft sitting there and put it into this framework and having the path. And so, what is it, like 5 weeks later? I'm up. I'm on new, #1 in new releases, and
Congratulations.
look at, yeah,
Awesome.
and I have some global um you know reviews. And so it took it from just an idea, and I should do that. And so I'm not walking away with any regrets for my career, or also in launching my book. And this is just the beginning of my book, so I'm going to be continuing. I mean, I have a companion workbook that
Yes.
goes with this, but I have a lot of other books in my head that I'd like to share with clients that aren't in my office, sitting with me, Zooming with me, and being able to help them.
And one
So,
of the things you touched on, Liz, that I want to mention here is that you work with people that are not like they're not bad people. They're good people that have been affected by life like the rest of us and kind of gotten off track. So it's not about, toxicity or toxic people or
no.
narcissists. I mean, we're not going to talk about that today, but what I like is it's geared just for like your everyday person who might just be struggling. Maybe life got overwhelming. And in this case, their marriage drifted apart, not because they didn't care, but just because life got in the way.
Right, right. And sometimes, so yes, they're really wonderful people. And I want to say sometimes our marriages drift apart, or they become, a conflict battle, not because we don't care. It's because we care really, really intensely. I would rather have this client that's like going, "Argh," because they care so much that they're not ready to, drop that bone. And so it's actually a good sign when couples are kind of stuck or going back and forth over things, as opposed to people that have drifted completely apart. They care, but that's the only way that they're coping. So we got to get them back. I got to get them back together. And so when I'm talking to my folks, I really say, like, we have two healthy individuals, right? They're out there in the work world, or they're in school, they're parenting, or they're critter parents, dog parents, we got dog, cats, horses, goats, whatever. We've had them. And so they're doing life really well. And they did the relationship. But when you put two people together in that important container called marriage, committed relationship, whatever we want to call it, it's how these things kinda jog in together. And so we come from places where we have experience, just life, relationships, we see what our parents, we see what our family was, but when we come together in today's world, sometimes it doesn't work, not because doing something wrong, but it doesn't work because we've got two people involved in there. And so my goal is to help each person understand their style, their partner style, and have strategies that then they can figure out what does their marriage look like? What do they want? What are their interaction styles?
And one of the things I love about your book is that, well, many things. One, you include real life, confidentially, of course, but you include like real life examples of clients you've worked with to illustrate whatever point you're talking about, whether it's communication, um, breakdowns in communication, or, one person walking away or scrolling through their phone. Like
Yeah.
this is such, they're mundane, but they're real life, basically,
Mhm.
examples of what people go through. And also your book also includes calls to action. That's very big in marketing, but it's big in marketing for a reason, is because people want to know what's in it for me. And you always want to engage your reader. And in this case, something so important in this book, you give couples exercises and tools that they can practically apply.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, one, I want to thank you for always being there and being the deep read and the editor, and being able to say, "Hey, you know, Liz, this is great, but we kind of got to swing it back around." So thank you for
Oh, you're
your
welcome.
eagle eye and your wordsmithing. I really love it. Um, yeah, because when you say about the call to action, we're fully invested. When we get into a relationship, kind of throw all in. And well, my husband and I, we've been married over 38 years. So, there's a lot of investment in that. And we have two adult daughters, and they're both married, and it's really wonderful to, see that happening. And so when we're talking about people that have really just kind of invested full on in their time, their commitment, their energy, we're wanting to see that it was worth it. We're wanting to see that we made a good decision and feel that we're loved, cared for, whatever it might be. For some people, um, I guess every person has their personal needs for wanting to be in that relationship or the personal things that connected them to one another. So the call to action is that we can talk a lot about I love you. I care about you. Yes, I'll take care of that. But for many people, that works. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear that, yes, um, I'm loved, I'm cared for. But underneath, the majority of us are also sitting back and we're watching for evidence. We want to see that there's a follow through. And we mentioned about life being mundane, and some of the biggest fights I hear and work with people are about the mundane things, but we have to unpack what's below it. And so having exercises, like when one of the first steps in I feel like in couples um, resets is to repair. And we we get to the point with when we're with our partners that we're just jumping in and telling them what they're doing wrong. So one of the very first things for repairs, I want to be able to have people remember what they liked about each other and hear it from one another. This is part of the reason why we fell in love, or we got to start back there in that good place. And from there we can continue to build. You can say, these are the wonderful things I loved about you. And these are some things I still need that have dropped away or I didn't realize were bothering me. Um, so that's part of what I work with people around is give remember the good stuff, and then let's start showing up, figuring out ways to express our needs, and then letting them know we saw it. Right? We were in there
Yes,
for saying I see it, it's making a difference, or you almost got it
mhm,
right. We want feedback.
sure. Like, that positive feedback could be, "Hey, I noticed you took the trash out tonight, like, thank you so much for doing that. I was running late that
Uh-huh.
day, and I noticed that you took that out." Like, little
Yeah,
things like that, they're little things, but they're meaningful. They mean
absolutely.
something.
Absolutely. The manners, that's one of the things I tell people. Your manners drop off in your marriage and your long-term relationships, and we got to bubble them back up. And we've had discussions around why should I thank them for something? That's their job.
It's really
you know? And I said, well, that may be on their to-do list, but all of us like to be told that they care, were noticed, appreciated, um, and or even just acknowledge you heard me. That's really cool. I like that. There's there's one gentleman. Yeah, I'll tell you a little story if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Love stories. We love
Okay.
stories.
I got lots of them. So there's one gentleman. He's a wonderful guy. Huge regional manager, busy man, pretty much the sole income for the family. He had a big territory and stuff, but he was managing other people and other sites and things, and he was great. He was always on time. People were always, knowing where he was, what his needs were and stuff. And it was really completely opposite at home. In fact, his wife never knew when he was coming home. How should she go ahead and feed the kids, not feed the kids? Was he going to make it to the recitals? What all the type of things. And so we started talking about how he stayed so well on touch and how his clients and his customers were so well satisfied. I said, so example, you're on the freeway. We're out here in Texas, so the 35 is infamous for being slow. And I said, so let's say you're stuck in traffic and what do you do? You're going to be running late to your meetings. Oh, well, I'm already texting them and letting them know I'm going to be late. Or if I have a moment, another number, I'll call and leave a voice message. So you let them know that you're going to be 15 minutes late. Okay. And so when do you communicate or talk to your wife and things and check in on things? Well, oh, when I get home. And I said, so if you are running late, you're leaving a meeting that ran over and you're coming home and it's dinner time. So what do you do to let her know what's going on? Nothing. And she's sitting there going, she's like, oh, it's my turn. You can see the bodies are starting to move, right? We want to share our story. It was so cute. And I said, you'll show more manners and consideration. This is not control. This is not mommy's checking in and you're a little kid. It's called
Right.
consideration, manners, respect. And because your primary family unit at home is waiting, they're waiting dinner because they care for you. They're looking forward to you. They're showing consideration and respect to try to wait for you. And he had not ever thought about it that way. Great guy, has all the skills and tools, but hadn't taken that concept and put it back into his family. As soon as he got it, it was like, oh my gosh, sincere apologies. You could see there's a little embarrassment that he had missed that kind of a thing. And it changed right away. Regularly after that, would text her, hey, I'm going from this place to that place. A new meeting came up, meeting dropped off my schedule. I'll be home early. Just in that little manners consideration kind of thing, their relationship went up, you know, greatly in there. If he has a credit score, he went up in the credit score in their marriage. So it's sometimes it's really is the mundane, the little things that are bugging people.
Yeah, and I think as humans, sometimes we compartmentalize things too. So it sounds like in this case, he was sort of compartmentalizing, having that consideration more just in a work environment and wasn't thinking, wow, I really should apply this to my marriage and my personal life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just didn't register because we kind of get, there are people, right? They're our family. And so it's like they're the ones that we can walk around in, the ratty t-shirts or the slippers or whatever type of thing. And then we might like, let me change my t-shirt real quick if the neighbors are showing up at the front door. It's just that different level of casualness. And there's nothing wrong with being casual. There's nothing wrong with being ourselves, but it is remembering some of those manners and going back to like the something so simple as when you shared that example, the thank you for taking out the trash. That was so nice. I was running behind and I would have missed the trash, the trash person, or it's just thank you. No,
Even use like a real life example that's not necessarily related to a marriage, but like I say thank you to a server in a restaurant. And yes, I know they're the
yes,
server and that's their job, but I still say thank you when they bring me a glass of water or when they bring my food or when they clear the table because I think it's just common courtesy.
yeah,
Like the consideration word, I love that word, Dr. Liz, consideration. It's just having consideration for another human being and acknowledging them.
yeah, yeah. We go up to coffee shops and say like, hey, how are you doing today? The checkout and at least I do. I talk to
Yeah, I do
everybody.
too. I do too.
My family's well versed in it. Mom's got a new friend because wherever I go, I love to chat, meet with people, and so I collect friends.
Well, hey, you're in the right profession, Dr. Liz. Then.
Thanks, thanks.
And I just want to circle back to something you said at the beginning too, and it reminded me of an expression that I've heard, and I don't remember if it might have even been on a TV show, but the opposite of love is not hate; it's indifference. And so I don't know that just kind of popped into my head. So when you are working with people that they're there because they want to be there and they want to fix things, and they're not indifferent, or they maybe act out before they get to you. They're acting out because they do care. I just wanted to
Yes,
reinforce that
absolutely.
point that you made.
Yeah,
But have you ever
absolutely.
worked with couples where you felt like maybe one person was completely checked out?
Lots. Yes, it's very, very common. Very, very common. When you talked about indifferent, sometimes people have really have gotten to a place where maybe they're depressed or they're feeling deflated and defeated, and they're feeling like whatever I've tried, it's not working. So I'm here. Tell me what I'm supposed to do, kind of thing in that respect. And that's a sad place to be because we're not feeling very empowered in our life, and we're feeling that we haven't been very successful in trying. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when there are certain activities we try and try and try, and it's like, I'm not getting it. Somebody else is getting it, but I'm not getting it. What? And so it is
Yeah. I've
easy.
been there. Yes.
I know. That's the thing. Let me name the let me name the things I try to do. But when we're sitting in there and we're sort of seeing, oh, it seems like other people being successful, or other things, other marriages are better. Social media is
Oh,
notorious for that, right?
yep. Mhm.
We have a protective mechanism in us too, where that indifference kind of helps sort of pulls us back a little bit so we don't care as much. We do care, but we've cared so much to the point where we don't feel like one more try is going to make it work. So going back to your original, is that yes, it's very, very common to be one person that reaches out to me. Men and women are calling me saying, I need help. We need help. We've been to therapists, we've been to here, we've read books, whatever it might be. And the other person says, okay, I'll go. Or you go first. I've worked with solos, one person in the couple and saying, here's what we get doing. And they start showing up and being different. And that oftentimes is enough for the other person to say, huh, you're a little bit different. You're showing up differently, or I like that. And yeah, I'll go ahead and meet with this Dr. Liz. I'll see what she's all about. And so if one person's pulling for the marriage or, is the cheerleader for it, that's okay. The other person very, very commonly will get involved. It may be slower to ramp up. They may not be as invested initially, but as they start seeing things change, they come in, join back into it. So I've had folks that definitely were ready to get a divorce. That's it. We're in different locations. They start to see things changing. They say, let's pause the divorce and let's get going. I mean, statistically, couples wait almost 7 years before they even start to address a problem or go to see someone. And so, 7 years is a long
Interesting.
time. And plus, I get them when they're 25 years, 28 years, 40 years. But that's a long time to spend your time like spinning your wheels or feeling like you're not your needs aren't being met, or you just need to ride this one out. And so I think it's important if there's something going on, we take a look at it as quickly as possible. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to take many of the things that I work with, my techniques and my strategies that I work with clients, to put it out there so that
Yeah.
anyone really can just be scrolling at night, pull it off Kindle or order the hardcover, and it's there. And now the two of you have something positive to work on and work towards instead of one more night scrolling on the
Yes.
phone.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and they can order the workbook is available on Amazon as well, Dr. Liz, or is that
It will,
coming?
yeah, yeah, it will be probably in about 2 days, but we're recording, so
Yeah. So, what
yeah.
is today's date? My gosh, we are recording
The,
on
the
December 3rd.
third, yes.
Losing
So
track of time here.
yeah,
Yes.
so yes, it will be up and rolling in just a couple days.
Yeah, and I highly recommend getting the book and the workbook because the workbook kind of is a great extension of the principles in the book and has more exercises. You can go a little bit more in depth, and it's a great place to start. And then after that, though, Dr. Liz, if they want to continue on with you or they feel like they need a little bit more, what would be their next step?
Just to reach out to me at my drliz, jenkins.com. I have a link where they can apply to meet me with a complimentary connection call, and or I have all sorts of resources on my website as well. So it's drlizjenkins.com, and you just click apply. And then you can also message me. But I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and some of those other places as well.
Excellent. And I will put all the links in the show description so people can easily
Yeah,
find you, Dr. Liz.
yeah.
But I have another question. I wanted to ask you because you are a licensed marriage and family therapist. What is the difference between, say, a licensed marriage and family therapist and a relationship coach?
Quite a few things. All right. There's the licensed marriage and family therapist. It means that I've spent my master's and my doctorate in really focusing in on relationships, the dynamics, relationships with ourselves individually, with significant our marriages, as well as kids, as well as extended family. And so I am national licensed at that level to be working in with insurance companies and work within different states, and I'm licensed in multiple states. The relationship coach is where I have focused my energies on, because the traditional insurance-driven therapy arena doesn't work for couples. It really, really doesn't. And that's where many years ago I just said I fundamentally can't do it. See, in the therapy world, couples, maybe they find me through the insurance company, and then they get approval, and the two of them have to hop into one 45-minute kind of minute session. They don't get chance to have privacy. They get 45 minutes, and the focus is tell me everything that's wrong, and then oops, time's up, gotta go. And I found that I couples were, you could see people were holding on to information they weren't feeling comfortable to share. They knew that if they brought up a topic, it would be one more fight. They would be fighting on the way, the hallway, or taking separate cars because they knew they would not be wanting to be around each other after that 45 minutes. And the dynamic of insurance in those little containers is you get to see somebody once a week. We kick up problems, but we don't offer them solutions or support outside of that. And it perpetuates this dynamic that the couple already has. It perpetuates a myth. We don't belong with each other. We don't get along with each other. We made a bad choice. I chose wrong. And so that myth, because they're not seeing changes, they're not getting traction, they're not being able to feel optimistic. A coach, if you think about, I don't know, a golf coach, a football coach, a tennis coach, what do? They sit with you in your world. We go out, let's say we're going to go out and play tennis. They're there and they're coaching. They're watching your swing. They're watching how you hit the ball, or whatever it might be. And they're coaching you on. They're not bringing up, oh, remember last week you ruined all. They're telling you,
Yeah.
here's your swing and you need to improve it. You need to extend the stride or lean in this way or move on the ball of your foot. And and they get feedback, and they get something that they can, actionable in that moment, and they can practice and they go, I feel the difference. I mean, I remember when we were learning how to ski, or even like recently I've learned
Me
how to
too.
surf. Okay. Yeah, I love
You
surf.
surf? Oh my gosh,
I know,
top
I
of your list.
know.
That's
When
amazing. Good
yeah,
for
I
you.
learned. Yeah, not it's never too old to learn something new. But my husband's a surfer, and so we got to go, and he was telling me how to do stuff, and then I took lessons, like the aha moment, because in that moment, someone's telling me, hey, I did. You leaned too far on that. Well, off I went. Yeah, okay. I did lots of times, but that's where I knew coaching is more optimistic, it's motivating, you get traction quickly. And I've studied what helps people learn and stay in the game, because that's long term. And that's why I created the workbook as well, because we know when we take notes, we write it down, we plan, it's something that's concrete, something we can refer back to, we get better traction. So when people are working with me in the coaching program, it is designed that it's in very focused, bite-sized, doable activities, and it's designed just for them. It's not a cookie cutter. My goal is I could become everybody's, like relationship voice. I want to learn each of their voices, their styles, so that when I'm making suggestions, it's based on their needs and their style, not just, with my husband, Liz and Mike's style. And so when we're doing that, I find that folks come away even from the first session with me, having some clarity, feeling like there's a plan, resting back and saying, okay, we don't have to struggle. And there's also somebody that we can reach out to, because in my coaching programs, folks have access to me outside the sessions. It's very VIP. So they have, WhatsApp and some other resources that they can reach out to
That's
me. And
excellent.
yeah, and private time. Each of them get private time, because I need to hear the backstory. I can't help if I don't know everything that's really going on.
Yeah, and that's interesting, Liz. I did not know that about the insurance system with respect to therapy in this sense. I think everyone knows how I feel about health insurance with
Yeah,
respect to
right.
medical issues and
Yeah,
the insurance dictated 7-minute office visits, but I had no idea that was actually going on in this type of
yeah.
therapy.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And one of those two individuals has to have a diagnosis. They can't be seen without a diagnosis. So you have two healthy people, right? That one of them goes, "Hey, it's okay. It's my insurance. I'll get it." They get a psychiatric diagnosis that is not necessary. And I've seen that backfire too, because back in the day when it was with the therapy arena, someone took the plunge and said, okay, call me whatever. And so they got the diagnosis. And then later on, because the system was broken, they ended up going in different directions and there was divorce. And that was pulled into their child evaluation, custody evaluations, if it got particularly contentious, but that wasn't an kind of little arsenal that they would throw out there. Well, I'm going to say that you have a psychiatric issue. It's just like all the like
It's really
mean gates,
ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really bad. And so for a variety of reasons, I'm here for the long run. I want to help people. That is my passion. I want folks to understand just how nice it is to be in a marriage or a relationship that you feel committed, how nice it is to be able to show your kids or family members just what it means to have healthy communication or still to be loving each other and that creates this legacy of love and it's be really really nice but marriage isn't always quiet. I mean, it's not like, oh, I love you. Oh, thank you. Here's your coffee. Oh, my tea. Oh, okay. There's
So
it
it's not
gets
all sunshine and roses. Is that what you're
right,
saying?
right. That's just what it is. That's what marriages are. That's what relationships are. That's what friendships are, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then
Well, it's
there's the
funny you
highs and
said that,
lows.
Dr. Liz, because when I was working on your book, editing your book, and working with you, it occurred to me that all the principles really apply to many different relationships. Excluding the intimacy part of marriage, but I mean, just in terms of yeah, right. But I mean, just in terms of relating to other people,
Uh-huh.
I thought, wow, these are things I can apply in my friendships, in my relationships with siblings and my mom and just different people, because the principles seem to be universal in that respect.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. The topic or the focus might be different, but like um one of the techniques that I use with my folks in the coaching is where do 3-3-3, and it's where we start off with things that I really appreciate you and I really like about you, and this is good and don't change. Uh, wouldn't that be nice if you were having a knockdown drag out with, let's say, a family member? Is it, wait, this is like, here, first thing, I just let's just try something different. I mean, go think about it. What are, a couple things, one thing you like about me, you know, and
Yeah.
we're gonna
Should be able to
exchange
find
this.
one at least.
Yeah, please find one. And then we share that. Okay. It kind of changes the vibe. And then it makes it easier to hear what they would like to see you do differently or what you would like to tell them to do differently. So yeah, and there's a magic in words. And that's one of the things I teach people, what words to use, what words to not use when they're having conflicts or, you know, communication
Yeah.
issues. So
Yeah, exactly.
but you're absolutely right. It is a template that is able to be used in all types of relationships.
And another thing that you said in your book, Dr. Liz, that I really appreciated too, and this is for people that have children, is like your desire, and you just mentioned it a minute ago, to sort of create this better relationships for the generations and to create that example, for their children. And one of the things you suggest in your book, and I love, is your like creating new traditions. So you gave an example in your own life. I
Mhm.
believe you guys were somewhere, a different town,
Yeah,
exploring, and you came upon
Cambria. Yeah.
where was this? And
I think it's Cambria that we were up in Central California kind of thing, Southern
okay,
California. Yeah.
awesome. So you guys came upon this place where you could kind of create your own. You guys created a plaque with Team Jenkins. Am I
Yeah.
saying that correctly? I
Yeah,
remember.
it's a paint your own pottery. They're probably all over the place where you go in
Yeah,
and there's unfired pottery and it's ready for you to do your thing with it. Yeah. And
neat.
yes, and the girls were kind of wandering around, what are we gonna do? And stumbled across arts. We just thought arts will get them occupied on something. And so we sort of just stumbled upon something that said, hey, this is cool. So we made a Team Jenkins plaque with everybody got to paint on it and it got fired up. And is at our house, and it's something that's passed on. Our daughters, as they got older, each gave us a new version of the Team Jenkins. When they each married, my husband and I gave them, each couple, team,
Aw,
fill in their last name ones, and
there,
so
yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's
beautiful. I love that.
yeah, yeah, it's just I use it a lot too. Well, thank you. And we just what's called inspirational chance. We were very lucky. It was great, and it was something that really locked on, and um, it is a motto. But when I'm working with couples that are like blended families, and they're coming together, and like, well, how? Let's create this new entity. So maybe it's a popcorn bowl. So everybody's in there creating and painting and help choosing what they're going to do with the popcorn bowl. And then they each get to create their own little popcorn one and they pull out of it. It's where humans are visual and we want these kind of rituals. And it's really kind of coming together and showing everyone how they can fit in together. And so maybe it's not a tangible thing, but I think all couples, all families could get creative and think about something that says, hey, let's come together, let's make this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, even family shirts. I just when we were talking, I just thought about, I see these family reunions and
Yeah,
I've
no.
been out like, here's this is your family's, 15th family reunion. Who's coming? Oh, we got about 100. Like, oh my gosh, they're coming in from other states because it is such a huge, important event. And they all have this unifying, you know, family T-shirt, 20th annual family reunion. I think it's awesome. So get creative, folks, and find what strikes you and would work for you or your family or your relationship.
For sure. So, Dr. Liz, you can work with people then as a relationship coach anywhere in the country, and this is all virtual, correct?
It
So,
is all virtual and actually international, as long as I have folks in different countries around the world. So as long as they're English speaking, because that's I am limited in my
me
fluency
too.
in anything else. So yeah, I can work with folks around the world by virtue of Zoom. That's how we meet. And
Excellent.
then online. I have programs and that come when they're working with me. There's a weekend reconnect program that they work with, and they'll have WhatsApp, and I have other things that I share with them. Or oftentimes I'll make a, a video training that's personalized just for them and their dynamic so that they can have it to refer back to. Uh,
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
what is their first step? Like, let's say maybe somebody listening right now wants to just they want to move forward. They're going to get the book, but they're just ready to go. They want to meet with you. What would be their first step?
First step would be just to well, they could DM me if they wanted to, or but really going to my website is the drlizjenkins.com, and if there's a backslash apply, but when you go to my website, there'll be a way to say work with me. Just click on there. There's a couples quiz. I want to get some information around folks and get going, and then you'll have a private complimentary call with me. If folks say I just want to move right on, skip all that. I've already heard enough. They like what I'm saying. Then they would just simply message me and say, hey, we want to get started in your marriage makeover. And that'd be great. And I would send them the information and they would be, uh, once they purchase the program, they would immediately be onboarded. They'd have access to my private calendar. They'd have access to the initial assessments and the WhatsApp. And we would be starting right then. So, yeah. So thank you, Daria, for asking. I, my goal is by the time people have said, yes, I want to talk or one thing, it's kind of overdue and they're really ready. And so I want to be available. And when my coaching clients are working with me, they have VIP access to the schedule. They don't have to wait. There's no back and forth. They have the link. They schedule it. I wake up the next morning like, oh, hey, I'm seeing Daria. Okay, hey, great, And that way I try to drop the abrasions. Just think about like going like a high-end hotel, the concierge service, and it's
Yeah.
tried to meet your needs. And so that's my goal.
I love it. Oh my gosh, it's so much better than the insurance model.
Oh my gosh, I know, and it's coming to the like
Cut out the middleman, people, and just go right to Dr. Liz for
yeah.
relationship coaching.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yes, they won't be disappointed, and there isn't the red tape.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, Dr. Liz, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we wrap up today's show?
Yeah, I'd like to say that you've invested a lot of time and energy, even just listening here today with Daria and myself. So there's a reason why you're listening. There's a reason why maybe this topic, whether maybe it's for you, maybe it's for someone else that that's in your world, and that relationships have their seasons. There are some really, really great times, and then we go through some low times. And the media, the vibe of, and it seems like in this world is that we just get rid of, you know, sever it, end the marriage, end the relationship, go our separate ways. Either it's hopeless or we chose wrong, or there's more fish in the sea. True. Okay. There's lots of folks out there. But you have to understand, I think what you have to, I would like you to understand is that even when some of those lowest, darkest points, there's still the marriage, there's still the relationship. That person that you married is still there. That person that you thought you married is still there. You're still there. So I've seen successful couples long term, the 40, 50, 60-year-old, and the couple things that they always tell me is that one of us never gave up. One of us swam for the relationship when the other one couldn't. So it's having that faith, having that energy, not buying into the myths that this is as good as it gets. The other part is recognizing that if you stay the course, this dip is going to come back up and it will get better. The thing is, many of my couples say that we've been through this dip multiple times, but what they did is instead of learning from that dip and then saying, okay, we're feeling better, now we need to do something, they just swept it under the rug. You can't sweep things under the rug. You can't ignore it because they do build up, that whole whoop, we just tripped over that. But they can be repaired. You can have conversations where we learn, are we ready to let this go? Let's put this away. And how do we move forward? Even I have couples that are, some pretty hefty affairs and betrayals. And we go from marriage 1 to marriage 2.0 and draw the line in the sand and move forward. And that's really what we're going to be doing. We're going to be redesigning this. I don't know about you guys, but when we're young and we marry, or younger, and we marry, or we're getting the committed relationship, everything's cute, everything's tolerable. And then we
Yeah.
start realizing life just got busy, life got heavy, and it is the little things that bug us. And our careers, our kids, and those types of things really do need some navigating in the now. And so long-term couples realize how to have conversations along the journey and how to have faith and readjust. And I guess, can I just one more thing, Daria?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
I'm seeing a new trend too, not a new trend, but I'm seeing a trend too as well with that couples that have reached the pinnacle, they've got successful careers, their kids are successful, and now they're retiring and they're moving into their space. Some people call them empty nesters. I just call redesigning nesters, but they're in a place where everything should be going their way, and now they're starting to look around and say, maybe we don't belong together. And so if you're in that space where you've done it all and you're retiring and you're supposed to be enjoying and no kids or going on the next part of your life and you're feeling like you're on the brink of breaking up, this coaching, this kind of program, the book, I think these are really important because it's time to go back and reset where you are in this life season. You were different when you're first together. You're different when you had kids or your new career, emerging career. Now you've hit this pinnacle. Maybe it's retirement. Maybe it's vacationing. I don't know what it might be. Every stage, life stage, you can use these tools to reevaluate and reset and design how to go forward together. So
I love that. Beautiful. So everyone go on Amazon.com and purchase the Marriage Reset. And by the time this episode comes out on December 15th, Dr. Liz's workbook, companion workbook, will be available. I highly recommend both. I'm going to put all of those links in the show description. And, it is the Christmas season, and it's a perfect time really to kind of reignite, restore, rebuild
right.
your
And
relationship.
yes, and if maybe it's not you, but maybe you have somebody that's might have Santa or whomever,
That's true. That's true.
the Christmas elf, if you do Christmas, have
Yeah.
that, gift them something that they can use and read and ponder on their own. But yeah, so thank you.
Yeah.
And
And even,
Daria,
use that as a foundation for starting off the new year,
hmm yes,
resolving that, hey, we're going to make these changes in the new
yes.
year.
And it's not,
So,
I've had lots, and before I went over, I had lots of couples that one of the impetus was that the wife, usually the wife, found this really cool book and she shoved it on the guys and said, "Here," and it sat on the nightstand, and that created the nightstand, the book on the nightstand fight. And so this is not one of the books that are going to sit on the nightstand. It's short.
yes.
You can work through it. It's not going to kick up another fight. It is going to give you the tools. It is going to give
Yes.
you a path and strategy. So you could have quick read, and you guys could come away feeling
Yes.
much more successful with it. So, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do any of this, without you, Daria, and Michelle and the Tiny Book Club, and of course my hubby and family like, "Hey, I got it. Go finish editing. Hey, I got
Oh,
it." So
wonderful. That's awesome.
yeah, he's waiting. But thank you.
Well, Dr. Liz, it's been a pleasure having you on the show and working with you. I'm excited to see where this takes you, all the possibilities, and even the future books that you plan to write. It's very exciting.
Thank you.
So
I'm
thank you
I'm
so much
thrilled.
for joining me. All right, everyone, get the Marriage Reset. Go on Amazon, get the workbook, and really just look forward to improving your relationships in the new year. And I love one other thing I'll just say really quickly is like without years of therapy, I want to make sure that people get that. I think that's one of the most appealing things about this process. So
No, this fast, quick. Yeah, that's one of I have a couple smart restart. It's a 6 week, really kind of a sprint, as well as I have the marriage makeover. But you can get traction and you can see things in just days and weeks, not years. No, no, you don't need that.
fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Dr. Liz. Everyone, check her out. Go to her website. I'll put all that information again in the show description. And Dr. Liz, I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yes, me too. Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye, guys,
Bye
and
bye.
thanks.
Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of True Voice Unfiltered. And if you're a busy professional who wants to leverage the power of a book, blogs, or other content as evergreen brand assets that help you reach your ideal audience, attract more clients, and expand your brand and influence, I welcome you to schedule your free 30-minute discovery call with me. At True Voice Writing Services, I offer professional storytelling in your authentic voice. And in this age of AI, authenticity is more important than ever. I have ghostwritten over a dozen books, edited many, many more, have written SEO optimized blogs for the past 10 years, and I know how to project your voice, infuse your voice in all content, set you up as the authority and trusted guide in your field, and help you enjoy greater success with personalized content that speaks to your audience. So go ahead and contact me at truevoicewritingservices.com. You can click on this contact button. Reach out to me today. Tell me your story over a virtual cup of coffee. I just ask you to complete this little mini questionnaire, I'll call it. Just a few questions to help me understand a little bit more about you and your business and what your goals are with your content, whether it's books, blogs, press releases, lead magnets, email sequences. I offer a variety of writing services, and I certainly have experience ghostwriting full-length books that my clients use to leverage other things, such as an online course, mastermind groups, one-on-one coaching, workbooks, and other CTAs, which are calls to action. So I invite you to visit me at truevoicewritingservices.com. click on the contact page, reach out to me today. I help purpose-driven professionals transform ideas and expertise into compelling content that builds authority, nurtures trust, and inspires action. With decades of experience ghostwriting books and writing strategic content across multiple industries, I apply clarity, creativity, precision, and your unique brand to every project. Your book is your brand, and I look forward to helping you express yourself through the written word. Contact me at truevoicewritingservices.com and let's schedule your complimentary 30-minute discovery call today. Thanks for listening.